Hydrogen is a clean, adaptable energy source of the future. The most plentiful element in the universe, it can generate heat and power for commercial and residential use around the world. Hydrogen could enable an energy transition that will result in a substantial reduction of global carbon emissions. Global demand for hydrogen is growing. According to the Hydrogen Council, hydrogen could supply up to a fifth of global energy needs and generate a market worth of $2.5 trillion by 2050. Major economies such as Japan are exploring ways to produce and import hydrogen to diversify its energy mix. But only certain countries, like Australia, have the abundant resources, technical know-how, and the proximity to markets to produce it at scale. The Hydrogen Energy Supply Chain Project is a world-first trial to demonstrate the production and safe transport of liquefied hydrogen using Australian brown coal from Victoria's Latrobe Valley. The project will find cost-effective ways to deliver hydrogen to consumers in Japan, while further strengthening our trade and investment ties. Exploring an end-to-end hydrogen supply chain could bring an entire new industry to Australia, laying the foundations for new hydrogen export, transportation, and power generation markets. The Hydrogen Energy Supply Chain Project will be a collaborative project involving the Japanese, Australian and Victorian governments and some of the world's most influential energy and infrastructure businesses. By working together, all partners hope to put Australia and Japan at the forefront of hydrogen technologies. The Hydrogen Energy Supply Chain Project will be developed in 2 phases. Phase 1 is the pilot phase. The pilot phase aims to demonstrate a fully integrated supply chain between Australia and Japan by 2021. Phase 2 is the commercial phase. The decision to proceed to the commercial phase will be made in the 2020s, with operations targeted into the 2030s, depending on the successful completion of the pilot phase, regulatory approvals, social licence to operate, and hydrogen demand. In the pilot phase, hydrogen production operations will be established in the Latrobe Valley at the AGL Loy Yang complex. Operations will leverage existing coal gasification technologies adapted specifically for Victorian brown coal. Hydrogen will then be transported to a liquefaction and loading terminal at the nearby port of Hastings. Once converted to a liquid, hydrogen will be shipped to Japan using a world-first, innovative liquefied hydrogen carrier purpose-built for hydrogen transport. The pilot phase of the project will be the first steps towards future mass transportation of liquefied hydrogen across open waters using innovative technologies. Capturing carbon emissions will be essential for commercial-scale hydrogen production. Carbon capture and storage is where carbon dioxide emissions from sources such as power stations and industrial processes is captured and stored securely, deep underground or deep under the bed of the sea. The Australian and Victorian Government Carbon Net project is investigating the establishment of a commercial-scale carbon capture and storage network. This would involve storing carbon dioxide deep offshore in the Bass Strait. For the pilot phase, the project will invest in carbon offsets to mitigate all emissions. The Hydrogen Energy Supply Chain Project represents an opportunity for Australia and Japan to lead the way on the safe and reliable production and transportation of hydrogen, with significant spillover benefits in innovation, industry, investments and economic development. This will be a pioneering achievement that in time may significantly influence the future of sustainable energy and transport systems around the world. Produced for Kawasaki Heavy Industries and its project partners J-Power, Iwatani Corporation, Marubeni Corporation and AGL. Proudly supported by the Japanese, Australian and Victorian governments.